Thank you for that warm, unsolicited greeting. You know, it's the authentic moments that keep me grounded. So, I went into the salon. I said, I want to look like Potsy on Happy Days. And the fucking kid ran with it. Now, nice to be here in Tempe, where a baby's first words are often, but it's a dry heat. I'd like to start off with an impression. I'd like to, but I'm genetically incapable. One of 5 men currently living on the North American continent who does not do Jack Nicholson. And they're all so good at it, aren't they? Huh? Don't you love it when they give you that move with the hairline, huh? Hey, stop it, you're confusing me. Are you or are you Jack? Stop it, stop it. You know, I don't mind it when they do Nicholson. I hate it when they paint him into these incredibly mundane scenarios. Can you imagine Jack Nicholson as a produce clerk in a grocery store? No, fuck you. You, I can imagine, as a produce clerk in a grocery store, all right? Now, let's not take the world's highest paid actor and have him spritz in a bag of turnips for $3.35 an hour. Got out in the park today, saw a bald eagle. I think it was bald. He was pulling feathers over from this side of his head. You see, there's that new baldness for men called Walkman baldness, where they get that narrow strip right here between the ears. And then, in addition to that, they're also going regularly bald. You eventually get that little flesh intersection in the middle of the skull that, when viewed from above, is strangely reminiscent of the wide shot used in the crop dusting scene in Hitchcock's North by Northwest. And maybe a little too arcane a reference this early in the evening. Sort of like that clumsy, too soon grab for the breast on a first date. And you get the feeling somewhere along the line, Liberace's parents refused to buy him a class ring. Got up early this morning, went to a diner for breakfast. I ordered 2 eggs that looked like my brain on drugs, and I had the softer mescaline eggs. You know, I really wasn't up for the hard blotter acid eggs this morning. Spent the afternoon listening to self-improvement cassettes, and now I'm feeling a little inadequate that I don't have the CDs. And you want to know what a prick Adolf Hitler was? I read Mein Kampf this weekend. No dedication. I think that tells you a little bit about the man. Tell you a little bit about myself. I'm married. I enjoy marriage. I think our society conditions you to be afraid of marriage. It seems to me the only 2 times they pronounce you anything in life is when they pronounce you man and wife or dead on arrival. My wife's a very dominant woman. She walks on the ground I worship, and met her in a rugby scrum. We had a friend videotape the wedding. I was watching the tape the other day, and damn it, if Michael Caine wasn't in the film. This guy is incredible. I mean, he played my wife, and so I'm driving over tonight. Now, what's the story? If a school bus is in front of you with blinking red lights, you have to pull over, stop, sell the car, get back in your mother's womb. What the hell is that about? Driving over, gets stuck behind this woman driver. She's paying no attention whatsoever to the road, attending to housekeeping duties at a high rate of speed in lane 4 of the interstate, adjusting the digital clock on her dashboard, I presume so that the coroner would have an accurate time of death when she eventually plowed headlong into the woman from the Bugle Boy jeans commercial who was invariably in the wrong lane. Excuse me, that guy you just put in the body bag, was he wearing Bugle Boy jeans? I went to a black friend's wedding last week. I was painfully reminded of the vivid difference between black people and white people when it comes to the art of fast dancing. I went to the reception. The band began to play before the black people hit the dance floor. They had already segued into an incredibly intricate series of Slinky, Alvin Ailey, Josephine Baker, Shaft 3 type movements. White people would get up from their chair, walk to the dance floor, and then there's that amazingly awkward moment where we as Caucasians make the conscious decision to begin dancing. Okay, are you ready, Madge? 1, 2, 3, go! Yeah. And white men are the worst. They dance like the villagers are chasing them with torches. They've got that Baloo Jungle Book midsection thing happening, and arms are locked in that repetitive rock'em sock'em robot type activity. You know, I don't think white men have danced in this country since Bachman Turner Overdrive broke up with that amazingly simplistic drum beat that even basic amoeba could keep time to. Taking care of business. Somebody would put the OJs on, they'd get that panic look in their eye like an animal stuck in your headlights at 3 a.m. on a dark road, you know. Oil can, you know. So, what's new in the world? Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry. Can you believe he got off? Surprising, because I'd always heard that ordinarily when you do that much blow, you can't get off. And kind of ironic that he and Ed Koch both stepped down in the same year, seeing as Koch's slogan was, "How am I doing?" and Barry's was, "How much am I doing?" And you know, he's thinking about running again. You talk about balls the size of Alpha Centauri. He's got a new campaign slogan: no blow, no hookers, just good government. Well, the Germanys got back together last week. If there is a man amongst you who sees why these two should not be joined together, let him speak now or forever hold his peace in the ready position with the safety off. Germany, food, folks, and Der Führer. I don't know, I view the reunification of Germany in much the same way I view a possible Dean Martin-Jerry Lewis reconciliation. I haven't really enjoyed any of their previous work, and I'm not sure I need to see the new shit right now. You know, you think everybody would be happy about that wall coming down in Berlin, but there's always a group of naysayers. I saw the wall being picketed by a group calling itself East Berliners for Handball, and evidently a little pissed off. A lot of elderly Berliners complaining about drafts. You know, they're... And now that that wall's come down in Berlin, isn't it about time we did something about that barrier between Virginia and West Virginia? And isn't it time for the West Virginians to start sharing some of their rapid advancements in the field of musketry? No, you poke the ball down twice with the steel rod. Thank you, Jessup. Hey, I've been to West Virginia. Be glad you live on this side of the culture warp. There are guys in West Virginia building additions on mobile homes. It's the sort of place where they test market Dynasty cologne. Oh, Crystal wears it. It's so fucking sad. I think the only more backward place I've ever been is Tulsa, Oklahoma. Have all this nouveau gauche oil money floating around down there. The local citizenry is comprised of the cast of extras from The Grapes of Wrath. They're not quite sure what to do with their newfound petrodollars, so you see a lot of 450 SLs with Six Flag Amusement Park bumper stickers on. These are the sort of people who send in the $3 for the written transcript of that day's Sally Jesse Raphael show, you know. When they eventually get 50 of them together, they like to have them bound to use as a reference work, you know, for the kids. I've been traveling a lot. I make Jack Kerouac look like an agoraphobic. I was in Greece, actually Greece 2, and want to know how amazingly brilliant the ancient Greeks were, folks? The Parthenon is cable ready. I was also in L.A. I love Louisiana. And you know, while I was down there, I visited Nashville, Tennessee. I had never been to Nashville before, but I believe years ago I had relatives who lived there and worked in the sequin mine. I've been flying a lot. Flying in this country has turned into an amazingly arduous process, especially boarding the plane, which has now become this tedious Bataan death march with American Tourister overnight bags. Just get stuck behind this one guy who takes forever to get situated. He's clogging the aisle like a piece of human cholesterol, jammed in the passengerial artery. You just want to get that soft drink cart and flush his ass out the back door. Folding that sport jacket like he's in the color guard at Arlington National Cemetery. Or else I get stuck behind a wizard who wants to beat the system by gaffer taping a twine handle onto a Frigidaire freezer box and calling it carry-on. You know, they're wedging it into the overhead with hydraulic jacks. It's like trying to get Pavarotti into a wetsuit, for Christ's sake. And exactly when did stewardesses in this country get so fucking cranky? Now, I know it's a tough job. There's got to be 1,000 different ways to tie that neckerchief, but why piss on me, huh? You know, the worst thing about it is they don't even come clean with you and tell you how much they hate you. They treat you with that highly contrived air of mock civility, that tight, pursed-lipped grin where they nod mild agreement at everything you say. You know right behind that faceplate they barely tolerate your very existence. I'd rather they just come out in the open and say, hey, listen, fuckhead! When I was 18 years old, I made a horrible vocational error, all right? I turned my entire adult life in for cheap airfare to Barbados. Now I've got hair the tensile strength of Elsa Lancaster and Bride of Frankenstein. I haven't met Mr. Right. I'm a waitress in a bad restaurant at 37,000 feet. Jam your diet slice up your ass, all right? Nice to see I'm not alone in my disgruntlement. At least show me something. Come down the aisle like the old broad from Russia with Love with a knife point coming out of her shoe, you know? Peanuts, Mr. Bond? What about when you leave the plane and they've got them propped up near the front door in that complete android catatonic stupor where they look like the Yul Brynner robot from Westworld when he blew a head pipe and iced Marcus Welby's assistant, you know, like, bye, 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 bye. It's like you're fucking stockbroker on Thorazine or something, you know? And am I the only one who likes to get on a plane and unwind with a good book, sit there in a little peace and quiet? I'm constantly in conversations with complete strangers. I'm always being approached by these overly ebullient Jonathan Livingston human types, this 18-year-old kid who's on his way back from Aruba and wants to show me the skull bong he purchased there, this carved out of volcanic rock. You know, he's always got a dream he wants me to interpret for him. What am I, fucking Queequeg? Get a shrink. And you're afraid to not talk to him. You never know who the terrorist is on the plane, and you hate to alienate anybody who's looking for a prom date to Valhalla. You know what I think the worst thing about dying in a plane wreck is you now have to check into eternity with the same group of pinheads you couldn't stomach on the flight from New York to L.A. And if you thought they had inane questions about air travel, imagine how entirely perplexed they're going to be by the concept of eternity. God, now, we're in heaven, okay? And then these are clouds. Why don't we fall through them? Excuse me, God, Miller here. Passenger Miller? Yeah. Listen, babe. Can I go to hell? Yes, you can, for calling me babe. A lot of terrorism in the air, but you know, when you walk through the air terminal and see the crack security people manning the perimeter, I think we all sleep the sleep of angels, huh? Came into Phoenix the other day. The woman working the x-ray machine had the attention span of Boo Radley. She's sitting there like Captain Pike from Star Trek. She had a channel flicker. She's watching baggage from other airports, for Christ's sake, you know. You think pilots make fun of those guys who bring them the last 10 feet into the terminal with those cone flashlights, huh? Well, thank you, Vasco da Gama. I kited in from Malaysia. You're going to take me the last furlong, Captain Eveready. I hope you don't blow a D-cell. I'd hate to be stuck out here in a Bermuda tarmac for the rest of my life, you know. I was working in Atlantic City not long ago at the Trump Castle. I flew down on the Trump helicopter, 6 seats. Or 10 minutes outside of Manhattan, the stud pilot, Race Bannon, comes on the PA system and announces he is turning off the fasten seatbelt sign, releasing us to get up and move about the cabin. I salute you, Lieutenant Rickenbacker, huh? I'm hunched over in this ballpark Frank. This guy's giving me the green light to do-si-do up the aisle. Yeah, I think I'll head up into the piano lounge. They've got a midget with a Casio on his lap. I mean, for Christ's sake, the bathroom was a fucking NyQuil cup. Where were we going? Think birds that live at airports have a bad self-image? I guess it was Freud who first advanced the theory of fuselage envy. I'm in therapy now. I'm very insecure. I'm so insecure I get depressed when I find out the people I hate don't like me. I'm also a tad paranoid. I often think the car in front of me is following me the long way around. I've always been paranoid. Even as a baby, I can remember laying in the crib while my mother would stand above me and spin that mobile, and I'd always lay there thinking, oh, that's coming, Don. Very neurotic about my health. I have a medical alert badge that says I'm a hypochondriac, and I can't even use a vending machine anymore. Anybody remember when all this took place behind the scenes? You put your money in, you pull the lever, you pick up the candy bar. Now they have these clear front plexiglass machines with the little spirals, and the Fritos always live up on the penthouse floor of the little simulated apartment building. You press the button, literally push them over the ledge to their death. They plummet right in front of you like Jimmy Stewart in Vertigo. Splat, they're laying in that bin with all that chip gut laying around them, or else the Clark bar comes straight down and severs its spinal column and has to lead the rest of its life in some bizarre other side of the mountain confectionery existence where it still participates in the candy ski tournaments but has to be led through the slalom course by a volunteer Necco wafer package from the local VA hospital that cares, like Linda Kelsey on the old Lou Grant show. Stop me before I sub-reference again. Now, what else is up in the world? The Contras are breaking up. Evidently, one of them's dating Yoko. And NASA, there's a crack unit, huh? These guys make Amtrak look like a team of microsurgeons. I mean, the Soviets are building Chuck E. Cheese's on Mars. We break out the party hats if we get down to 3 in a countdown. Saw the New Kids on the Block on the cover of People magazine. I guess Drew Barrymore was having a slow week, huh? I think they had to roll that magazine up and smack that little girl on the ass with it. You know, I read in this article that the New Kids do $12 million a month in merchandising. $12 million. Isn't that one of the biblical signs of Armageddon? You know what the saddest part about the New Kid on the Block phenomenon is that one new kid who has now taken it upon himself to become the brooding new kid on the block. He's always hunched over with that shitty nanny goat facial hair, you know, got the baseball hat on sideways, that flip chapeau insolence of youth, you know. He's always glaring at you with that rebel without a clue look. You know. You got 4 kids who look like Denny Terrio embryos, and the 5th kid is Sylvia Plath with writer's block. Yeah. He's always whipping up on that Harley just to let you know he's a motorcycle guy in a moped band. Oh, sure, he might sing. Do 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 do, but he doesn't mean it. The winds of change are blowing through Europe. Overthrow the communist government in Romania. Ceausescu, what a grim way to go. Imagine being put in front of a firing squad with your wife. Not only about to die, but you're getting nagged right up until the very end. Ready, aim. Honey, did you unplug the iron? Yeah, you want to shoot her first? Can I get 1 fucking second apiece over here? Well, it could have been worse. At least he had overthrow alert. My regime has fallen and I can't get up! I've seen enough other comedians milking that hackneyed premise. I thought I'd jump into the pool hip deep. Yeah, what else is up in the world? Beirut? This isn't even a city anymore. It's like a huge open-air Nintendo game. The city's about as stable as Crispin Glover. You know, my wife and I used to like to get over there once a year, you know, for the running of the tanks, but it was never very expensive. We'd use our frequent hostage miles, but we just don't Hey, let me ask you something. Do we need an embassy in Beirut? Isn't this like putting up a dunking chair on the psychotic Midway? Oh, do we passing Vegas brochures out to these assholes? I think we ought to sublet the embassy and split. I love the thought of one of these car bomb idiots kamikazing up to the front gate, loaded for bear, and, you know, we're just not home. It's just one of those clock signs in the front door, back when you get your shit together, all right? You think car bomb guys have stickers on their bumper that say, "How am I driving?" What do you think a security deposit goes for in a 2-bedroom pad in downtown Beirut, huh? Better go to the light blue column on the abacus for that calculation. See where they want to put Reagan's head on Mount Rushmore now. A couple snags in the plan. They're not sure that granite is a dense enough material to accurately portray the former president's head. He evidently got a little lazy towards the end of that last term. I was reading his wife's autobiography, My Turn. I think his is coming out at Christmas. It's entitled Her Turn. And in the book, she said he got a little lazy. He evidently had the button hooked up to a clapper. Just in case the shit hit the fan in the middle of the night, he wouldn't have to get out of bed to blow up the world, you know. Clap on, all gone. Clap on, all gone. The clapper! How fucking far is your life degenerated when you're buying a clapper for your TV set, huh? Isn't this where the government steps in and puts you to sleep? We have a new president now, George Bush. I find Bush an interesting dichotomy in that he is anti-abortion and yet pro-death penalty. Yeah, I guess it's all in the timing, huh, George? I saw Quayle speaking on abortion the other day. He said there are only two reasons a woman should have one. One, if her health is threatened, or two, if she doesn't want to have the baby. And I think the kid's nailed down a position there. You don't see much of the Quailmeister anymore, do you, huh? They got the kid on the short leash, don't they? Yeah, Quayle functions as the open box of Arm & Hammer baking soda in the rear of the Bush administration. Sort of like the Barney Fife of Washington, D.C. They give him that one bullet for his shirt pocket, hope he doesn't hurt himself out there. I don't even see him anymore. I think I saw him last week in one of those magazine ads for Amaretto. But, does anybody recognize any one of those fucking people, huh? What is that, part of the Federal Witness Relocation Program, or what? And Marilyn Quayle, Merle, what is with that hairdo, baby, huh? What is that thing over there? Isn't that the corporate logo for the Ocean Spray Cranberry Juice Cocktail Company? I mean, didn't they used to run that behind the credits for Hawaii Five-0, or? I guess it was kind of preordained. We had another Republican administration. The Democrats didn't really throw too much up against them. Michael Dukakis, obviously a good man, a caring father, sensitive husband. I guess all those things seem to matter more than whether or not you'd make a good president, but I don't think he ever had a chance in that area. I think he lacked that certain shallow charisma we seem to look for on our leaders. And on top of that, from a physical standpoint, I think he looked just way too odd for us. He had those amazingly thick eyebrows. He always looked like a stunt puppet from the Dark Crystal or something. He was always looking for a little animal head over here on the one end of it, like that mink stole Kitty Carlisle would wear on Fridays to tell the truth when everybody wanted to get gussied up for the weekend, you know. I don't even know why Dukakis would want to lead this country right now. We seem to live in such a uptight, reactionary, pain-in-the-ass haven right now. I mean, if Joseph McCarthy was alive today, I swear he'd be a little squeamish about what's going on. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody's completely unbending on that opinion. I think what we're seeing is the fascism of absolute freedom. Now, fur. You know, I don't believe in fur. I don't wear fur, but it stops right there because I am pro-choice across the board, and I'm beginning to think that the number one endangered species in this country is somebody who retains their freedom of choice. I have nothing against these fur people, but I think... These fur people are going to have to get it through their head that personal likes and dislikes are merely opinions and not laws of the land. Fur farms are the way to go. Nobody wants to see these animals stuck in these traps. The traps should be reserved for social activists. But I've seen people in New York City step over fellow human beings laying in their own piss to spit on somebody who's wearing chinchilla. And, you know, now they pretend to spit on you if you wear fake fur. I mean, how far do we go with this madness? Maybe if we refocused a little of this house pet energy into tidying up the human condition, we'd all be a little better off. But, you know, you take a look at these people. You take a look at these people and you see that they're so glazed over with fanaticism, there's no talking to them. You take a deep look in their eye and you can see somewhere along the line they have been so horribly hurt or disappointed by their fellow human beings that they've chosen to become way too cordial with the animal kingdom. You know, if I could talk to the animals, I wouldn't, because they're fucking animals, all right? I have enough trouble being civil to my fellow human beings, much less sitting around a campfire with a quartet of loquacious spider monkeys. Yeah, Yim Yim, would you like another s'more? And now the mink is everybody's cause célèbre in this country, the precious little mink. I guess so. Every time I watch one of these Mutual Omaha Wild Kingdom shows, the mink is the biggest prick in the entire forest. He's always got some young marsupial pinned on. He's gnawing his carotid artery. Yeah, the mink is a delight. Let's sit him next to Grandma, okay? I mean, how bad could his life be? He's wearing fucking mink. And trust me, if the roles were reversed, this little bastard would be wearing your pelt, okay? So when you hit your knees tonight, thank your walking upright God that it played out the way it did. And, you know, I need Bob Barker lecturing me a little more on personal ethics, you know. Maybe if I had spent the last 2 decades interviewing these semi-retarded game show contestants at the high-low wheel, I'd be looking to form study groups with orangutans, too. I especially love it when Bob cautions me against using any product that might involve animal testing for merely cosmetic purposes. Well, Bobo, what the fuck have you been dyeing your hair with for the last 20 years? I mean, have you seen this guy? He makes Edgar Winter look like Gabriella Sabatini, for Christ's sake. And can we rotate those Prices Right models every 2 or 3 millennium? That one gal is Nebuchadnezzar's wife. I guess the other big problem confronting this country now is the sort of Damocles-like specter, the dark presence, posing doom presented at us by the evil one, Satan's son, Andrew Dice Clay. Oh, isn't this a bunch of crap? Don't we look for things to bother ourselves about? Is anybody here that threatened by this man? Is anybody in this room so non-ego formed as an adult that they're afraid listening to his record album will make them kill another human being? I mean, come on. Isn't its worst sin is it's a tad innocuous? Nursery rhymes with the word pussy in it? Come on, folks, it's Fonzie with Tourette syndrome. We gotta take it easy. Just lighten up. I'll tell you why America loves this story, because it gives certain Americans the opportunity to speak for other Americans. And no matter what they say about baseball, this is the national pastime. Don't you hate it when the liberal intelligentsia in this country comes down from this tete-a-tete they're having with the burning bush on the mountaintop and deigns to speak for what they construe to be the unwashed, stupid masses? Well, you know, I can see through Andrew Dice Clay, but then again, I have a bachelor in communication from Tallahassee JUCO, but those people, the cattle, I don't think they get it. I best tip them to my personal wisdom. That is such a narcissistic bullshit attitude. These are the same people who worry about album lyrics. You know, folks, if your kid is capable of being pushed over the brink by anything Gene Simmons has to say, you're just not doing your job as a fucking parent, all right? Something. Something was going to get this kid eventually, all right? A low-flying traffic copter, delinquent tax return, something. He always had the lead in the tin drum because he obviously had the silly straw chromosome in him from the get-go. You can't save everybody, folks. Just try not to be living next door to them when they go off. I have that crocheted on a pillow in my heavily fortified rec room. Seems to be an intrusive nature to religion now in this country that I don't quite understand. There isn't an hour of the day where a television preacher doesn't bully his way into your living room. I see through these guys like used Neutrogena. You know, they say they don't favor any particular denomination, but I think we've all seen their eyes light up at 10s and 20s. And I should preface these remarks by telling you I have nothing against born-again Christians. Indeed, if I was to be quite honest with myself, in some dark recess of my psyche, I'd have to admit that I'm a tad envious of these people, this amazing cathartic ability they have to turn all the wrongs, the injustices, the inadequacies of their life over to Christ. I wish I had this ecclesiastical whiteout. Unfortunately, I've been cursed with an intellectual starch blocker that prohibits me from having a charismatic scene in my makeup mirror with an archangel, but God knows I wish I could. I think the thing I find most cloying about Christianity is it's only after many of these people have painted themselves into irrevocable moral corners, then and only then do they turn their life over to Christ. Nobody goes to Christ on prom night. It's only when they fucked it up so horribly that nobody down here will talk to him anymore. Charles Colson, this guy was the biggest prick on the planet for 45 years. He gets popped for Watergate. They're leading him into Leavenworth where he's about to be sodomized for the next decade. All of a sudden, he found Christ. I guess Christ didn't see him first, huh? Oh, no, here comes that asshole Colson. Probably wants to turn his life over to me. Taxi! Now 7-Eleven has bowed to pressure from the moral majority and removed Playboy and Penthouse from their newsstand. I guess to be fair, you have to look at it from the fundamentalist perspective. What they're saying is they don't want pornography out in the open because what it does is it forces a certain type of literature on somebody in a public place. It would be like, I don't know, say like putting the Bible in everybody's hotel room or, something crazy like that, I guess. Thank you for the heretical applause. I'll see you all in hell. The American legal system doesn't work. Can you believe Charles Manson is still alive? How bad do you have to fuck up before we pull the plug? This guy hacked up 14 people. He's on TV more than I am, for Christ's sake. I see him on Geraldo every 2 weeks like some psychotic greengrocer or something. I know you're not supposed to advocate the death of a fellow human being, but I think this cat reneged on his membership dues a long time ago, okay? I mean... Are we going to save this guy? Anybody want a timeshare condo with this wizard, huh? He's a sociopathic chew toy. Seal the vault. The entire American legal system is out of hand, upside down, Koyaanisqatsi. It's all based on the premise of trial by jury. The only way you can get on a jury is if you prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you don't know shit about the case you're about to try. Consequently, we have people's lives being determined by 12 people in a room whose main goal in life is to wrap it up and get home in time to watch Alice reruns on the Superstation because they think Flo is a real hoot. What's with this temporary insanity bullshit? What's next? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Or what? Well, when I killed her, I was insane. But, I'm no longer insane, and I'd like to go. Okay, Professor Plum. If she's no longer dead, you can split, all right? But if she's still croaked, I better look in that cell every morning at 6 a.m. and see you in the corner laughing like Woody Woodpecker and foaming at the mouth like Hooch, okay? Yeah, listen up. Remain insane or we'll bury you on the plane. What's for this low blood sugar insanity, please? Oh, I see you wouldn't have killed that family if you would have had a fucking Zagnut bar, right? Yeah, okay. Hey, Dick, Perry, put the mattress away. I found some Butterfingers, all right? Can I get a glass of water when you get a chance? No stir in it, please. Don't you love it when they give you water with a stir in it, just in case the hydrogen and oxygen molecules haven't completely bonded? You might want to do that Enrico Fermi Mixmaster thing. Thank you. I'll be right back. You know what I'm amazed at, folks, is the success of these organ donor programs, huh? People are pretty frivolous about giving this shit away, aren't they? Imagine how sheepish you'd feel if you got to the next life, they told you you're going to need your body again. You already held a garage sale. You're walking around eternity like some beat-up Mr. Potato Head, About the only thing you can do is wait for the guy to die who you gave it to and ask for it back. And trust me, he's not going to be half as accommodating as you were. What's that, man? You want your eyes back? Yeah, I'm over here. You're banging into cherubim and seraphim, What's the exact difference between the cherubim and the seraphim? You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think the cherubim are the ones that hang from the roof of the cave. Just a theory, just a shot. Yeah. Why is it now whenever I come off a major highway, I get to the end of the exit ramp, invariably there's somebody there who wants to sell me roses? You know, because it's so frequently I have the major romantic interlude at the base of a main road. You know what I do now? I carry a vase in the car with me. They run up with the flowers, I lean out first. Hey, obviously need a vase for those. I've got one for sale here in the car. Kind of topspin lob that purchase volley back into their end of the court. Why is it now whenever I come up to a stop sign, there's always some young teen team there from the local fraternity collecting for their favorite charity? If I choose not to give, they give me that tisk look like I'm Ava Perón fleecing the masses. All of a sudden, they're serious, civic-minded young individuals. You know, the night before, they're running around the frat house with Bing cherries jammed up their ass, trying to drop them into martini glasses. All of a, yeah. All right. All of a sudden, they're Albert Schweitzer, and I'm Attila the Hun, or something, you know. Hey, folks, what's with this Sports Illustrated sneaker phone commercial? Are these guys getting way too excited about this little oriental piece of shit? You see the look in their eye? They're like the Magi at the Christ Child's manger. They're, you know, laying hands on it like the apes in the first 10 minutes of 2001 with that big bit of honey bar, you know, and they're... It's a fucking phone. You know, the guy that Alexander Graham Bell called that first day was not this excited about the concept of the telephone. What about these Dockers commercials now for these incredibly bad slacks that I can remember you used to purchase by mail order off the back cover of Parade magazine? Now they have these 8 or 10 big chill boys in the band and countergroup guys just sitting around a friend's beach house in the Hamptons with a dartboard and a kite just kicking around life, like us guys are so prone to do. Everything shot from dick level. Who's working the camera here? Professor Lovelace, the deranged midget from the Wild Wild West? I mean, Jesus. Yeah. And all these guys do is talk about how they can't get laid wearing these pants. Okay, there's a ringing endorsement. Give me 2 pair. I'll go live in a fucking cave and do circle jerks with D.B. Cooper for the rest of my life. Merrill Lynch. Do I need to see this bull's dick on every commercial? I'm trying to invest some money. I have this huge barnyard animal dragging its crank across Daytona Beach, leaving this penile rivulet in the sand. Yeah, you want to put that fucking thing away? Yeah, thank you. Get me a guy in a coat with a legal pad, all right? It's a great heifer vast friends. I'm trying to diversify my portfolio, all right, Marquis de 4-H? I guess the new trend in American advertising now is the half-hour talk show in the form of an ad. There are 2 of these. Either we have the 2 British guys who are the masters of cleaning and polishing anything in the universe except their own fucking teeth, or you have the little oriental real estate magnate, Tom Wu, who has leveraged half of Beverly Hills using nothing more than Bel Air coupons, you know. I'm beginning to believe Tom, though, because when you look like that, you don't get bikini chicks running around your pad unless you have beaucoup bucks, all right? This is real estate for people whose concept of real estate is hotels are red and houses are green. A lot of movie sequels out there, more coming too. Star Trek VI, The Apology, and they're making Rocky V now, Rambo 3, Friday the 13th Part Pi. I figure eventually these 2 films will intersect on the chart. We'll have Rocky the 13th. Rocky boxes Jason for the title. Jason sticks him with that Ginsu, whips off his hockey mask. He's Gene Siskel. I have a new rating now for films, NC-17, not for children under 17. I don't know, is age the real problem here? Isn't it smart? Shouldn't we have an IQ 80 rating or something? Ever read the actual listing on an R-rated film? Children under 17 must not view this film unless accompanied by an adult. And you know, just remembering what a sensitive cat my dad was, I'm sure he could have coaxed me through some of the more difficult passages in the film. Dad, why did the man have to die? Well, you see, son, he was a slack-jawed little fucking rat. And all rats have to suck the pipe, baby. Thank you, Dad. I'll pass it on to my boy someday. My old man made the great Santini look like Leo Biscaglia. I can't even go to movie theaters anymore, and now they have these 18-screen movie space arcs. You ever call up one of these places to get theater times? You get stuck on that Inagata-Devita drum solo message from hell. I don't stay on the phone that long with friends contemplating suicide, all right? So I rent films. The other day I rented Young Guns. This is the film where everybody in it is Martin Sheen's son, but nobody has the same last name, huh? There's a tight nuclear family there. What is that, the Anti-Waltons or what? You know why I think people like to rent films? Because at home they control their environment. There's so many things you don't control in a movie theater. The prices, the people around you, the facilities. You ever go into the bathroom of a porno theater? It's like a soccer match. Nobody wants to touch anything with their hands. You have guys turning on the blow dryer like this, you know. And nobody wants to get that Andromeda strain on their willy. I think people rent porno films now because sex is not quite the participant sport it has been in the past. It didn't really affect me. I was never very adventurous sexually. I remember in high school I used to serve as the group's sexual designated driver. No, you guys fuck tonight. I'll stay flaccid. No, go ahead. I'll get you home. Don't worry, huh? And things were tame when I was a kid. I couldn't even survive today. You've got 16-year-olds with amyl nitrate tabs and Vietnamese spin fuck chairs. I would be in completely over my head. Some things never change sexually, though. Sexual roles. Men love and probably need to feel in control sexually. I have a theory that this is why men love to make love from behind. It's an amazingly powerful moment for a young man when the woman gives that Audra Barkley hair flip and looks back over her shoulder like Emma Peel during the opening credits for The Avengers, and guys hanging onto her hips. That moment he realizes he is undeniably and unquestionably at the helm of the bobsled. Men love it when women look back at them. It always reminds me of that publicity photo of the shuttle pilots at the control panel of the spacecraft, you know. Team Commander Bobby Crippen gives it a thumbs up. It's a go for a Tuesday launch, huh? Women don't change sexually either, though. Women love to go out with other couples and swap he's so cute stories. You're out with two people you hardly know, somebody she met in a macrame seminar. All of a sudden, she decides to reveal the most intimate details of your life together. You know, Georgianne, he is so cute. The other night, he crawled in the bedroom on all fours with my vibrator jammed up his ass. Whoa. Honey, no, 20-second injury, no. You're hoping nobody heard you go to the office on Monday. Guys are coming up to you, hey, Denny. You know, you're marked for life like Hester Prynne, huh? I was raised Catholic. Catholics had a very neurotic attitude towards sex. I can remember in 8th grade the priest coming in to give us our sex talk. The priest. Let's talk about the blind leading the blind, all right? How valid is a sex talk from a man without a zipper on his pants? This guy's got his libido in a garment bag up in the attic. All of a sudden, he's my sexual Sherpa, all right? Yeah. Sorry, Padre. I got to see proof of purchase, okay, pal? And these prayers they terrorize little kids with. When you look back on it, it's incredible. No wonder we're all so neurotic as adults. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, well, somebody gets an extra donut for breakfast, huh? What kind of prayer is that for a 5-year-old? If I should die before I wake, hey, I ain't going to fucking bed, all right? Yeah, get cable, Mom. I'm up. Adults love to terrorize little kids, even adults you don't know. Remember, you go to the public swimming pool when you're young, you're just about to dive in, invariably somebody would scream, "Hey, don't pee in the pool. We've added a special chemical to bond with your urine and surround you with a purple cloud." Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm 5 over here, Dr. Alchemy. Isn't that the reason little kids go to the pool in the first place? You're standing there in the shallow end next to your best friend talking about kindergarten. Yeah, sure, we made the handprint in the clay. Oh, yeah, sure, I love to eat the paste. That's a given, uh-huh. God, Scooter, you are knee-deep in my whiz. I can't believe you don't feel this, brother, because I am over here wailing on you like Red Adair with a fire hose. For Christ's sake, Ironside, wake up. I just blew out your kneecap. The reason he can't feel it is because he's peeing on you and the pee is smacking together in the middle to form some bizarre piss force field that even Spock could not break through with a Vulcan urine meld that he used on the portazygote testicle creature. You have been very nice. Thank you, and have a nice day.